Hi and welcome back to Squeeze of the Week. Here we are in 6 No Chumps. Partner opens a week 2 diamonds and Gib has pretty sound preempts generally. So we investigate just to double check we're not off the ace and the king of diamonds. Partner's got at least one of them. So we bid 6N. If partner's got either of the rounded suit jacks, we're going to be able to run that suit. If partner's got solid diamonds and an entry, like king, queen, jack 10 to 6 and an entry, and remember, an entry could just be one of the jacks, we should be absolutely fine. So we get to 6N and we realise hasn't really got that much play. If we look at the top tricks, we've got 3 hearts, 3 clubs is 6, and 2 aces is 8. We've only got 8 tricks. We can set up a spade for 9. We can concede a spade to the king or take a spade finesse if it loses. We do get up to 9 tricks. But we're probably going to need one of our long suits to come in. So if our long suits come in, probably hopefully clubs, that gets us to 11 with a spade finesse, and then maybe we need to do some extra bits and bobs here. So the good news is they've led a heart, and I think on nearly any other lead this would be a very difficult thing to play, but on a heart lead it might give us an entry to dummy early so we can take the spade finesse before trying to test diamonds or anything. So if we guess right at trick 1, we will have an entry to dummy. If the 8 forces the jack, or the 10 holds, or the 8 holds, or whatever, we're going to get to dummy. So I guessed right, because it was impossible to guess wrong. East couldn't beat the 8. So we're in dummy, so we're now up to 9 tricks, and if we take a spade finesse, that gets us to 10, and if clubs break, we get 12. So that's basically what we're going to do. If clubs don't break, we're going to need king, jack, doubleton of diamonds on side. So what we're going to do is, while we're in dummy, I'm going to take the spade finesse. That holds. Okay, so we're now up to 10 because we've got the 8 tricks off the top, we've got the queen of spades and the extra heart trick we got earlier. And what we're going to do, just because the computer doesn't know what my hand is, we're going to rattle off all our hearts first on the hope that someone with 4 clubs and things to hold in diamonds and spades has to throw a club away. So we're going to play heart, heart, and East discard, so we know West started with 5 hearts, and heart. Now, no one's thrown a club away. It probably means they weren't initially 5-1, because I think with 5 clubs initially, West could have afforded a club. So it could mean that West is guarding 4 clubs. It could mean they were 3-3 all along and no one's got anything horrendous to keep and so on. So let's play the clubs. We play the ace. We play the king. We cross our fingers and we play the queen. And everyone follows. So we've got our contract. We've got our 12 tricks, but as always, and one of the things you can do when you play, especially when you're playing Robot Bridge and you've got no one to worry about kind of staring at you, if you're on 12 tricks of the remaining 13, you're in that squeeze zone. So we're going to think about what sort of squeeze we can do. Well, our squeeze cards are going to be the clubs. Okay, we've got 12 tricks, and our threat, we need 2 threats. Well, obviously we've got the queen of diamonds, and we've got the jack of spades, or at least the king. If someone's got the king of diamonds and the king of spades, they're going to be under some pressure here. So that's fine. So we've got our threat, the jack of spades and the queen of diamonds. However, we know that's not good enough because we know where the king of spades is. So whenever you're doing a squeeze, if dummy has both threats, you can only ever squeeze West. It's what's called a positional squeeze. You play your squeeze cards and West has to discard before dummy, and then you just discard the right things. But because both threats are in dummy, East can't be squeezed from the king of spades and the king of diamonds. So what we're going to need East to have an extra card here. We're going to need East to have the 10 of spades as well. And the reason that we need them to have that is we're going to have to throw the jack of spades away on our last club. And so we need the 9 of spades in our hand to be the threat against East. So it was pretty simple to do that. You're effectively cashing winners in the right order. But if you play the ace of diamonds now, you can't squeeze them. So we have to play our clubs first. We can pitch a diamond. And then we can't afford to pitch the queen of diamonds because that gets rid of one of our threats. So we're going to pitch, to be fancy, the jack of spades. And now you can see East is sending the king of spades away. So if East originally started with the king of diamonds and king 10 of spades, we've got them. If West originally had the 10 of spades, as long as they keep it, we can't do anything. So we're going to play a diamond to the ace. The king doesn't appear, so we're going to play a spade. And if East originally had king 10 of spades, which they did, we got them. So that was our squeeze of the week. It was only for an over trick, but you can see the full hand. I think if they don't lead a heart, you're probably not going to make it. You have to be very careful. You can still set up the same squeeze. Effectively, you can potentially concede a heart trick and then rattle off the same sort of squeeze. East has to come down to king 10 tight of spades and king X of diamonds, then you make 3 spade tricks that way. But if you concede a heart now, they can switch to a diamond to break up the squeeze. So I'm not sure they'd have found that switch. It looks a bit dangerous with dummies diamonds as good as they are, but yeah. So the heart lead made it pretty easy. On the non-heart lead, would you make it? I don't know, but thankfully I wasn't tested.